We'll begin tonight's meeting with the pledge to the flag. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Christmas decorations are already gone.
Were they?
There were some wreaths. Okay, tonight we're beginning with a public hearing to consider a proposed local law to override the property tax cap for the coming fiscal year. In the absence of our clerk, I have the deputy mayor read the proof of publication, please.
Notice is hereby given that pursuant to Section 7-706 of the Village Law of the State of New York and pursuant to resolution of the Village Board of the Village of Baldwinsville adopted December 19, 2024, a public hearing will be held by the Village Board of the Village of Baldwinsville at Village Hall, 16 West Genesee Street, Baldwinsville, New York, 13027, on the second day of January 2025 at 7:30 p.m. to consider a proposed local law to override the property tax cap for the coming fiscal year pursuant to the authority granted in subdivision 5 of General Municipal Law, subsection 3-C. Copy of the proposed local law may be examined by any interested party by contacting the office of the village clerk by order of the village board of the Village of Baldwinsville.
Thank you, that's why I didn't do that. Is there anyone wishing to speak in favor of the local law? Anyone wishing to speak in opposition to it? Hearing no comments, could I have a motion to adjourn and close the public hearing?
Make motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. We're going to jump ahead because it'll take till 7:35 for you to read the next one. The next public hearing is scheduled for 7:35, and if somebody comes in, we can to consider a proposed local law to amend section 345 of the Village Code relating the Forbes Island Development District. Once again, can you...
Notice is hereby given that pursuant to Section 7-706 of the Village Law of the State of New York and pursuant to resolution of the Village Board of the Village of Baldwinsville adopted December 19, 2024, a public hearing will be held by the Village Board of the Village of Baldwinsville at the regularly scheduled meeting on the second day of January 2025 at 7:35 p.m. to consider a proposed local law to amend section 345-115 of the Village Code relating to the Forbes Island Development District to provide that the code incorporate the newly approved site plan and provide for future amendments. Copy of the proposed local law may be examined by any interested party by contacting the office of the village clerk by order of the Village Board of the Village of Baldwinsville.
Thank you. Is there anyone wishing to speak in favor of the proposal? Hearing no one, is there anyone wishing to speak in opposition to the proposal? Hearing no one, once again, could I have a motion to adjourn this public hearing?
Motion.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, then we'll move on to the regular meeting of the Village Board. Could I have a motion approving the Village Board minutes from December 19th, 2024?
Moved.
Thank you. Was there a second? Okay. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Citizen comments on agenda items. Okay, moving on to trustees' comments. We'll start with you, Donna.
Well, I just want to wish everyone a happy new year, and I'm going to stay with the agenda.
Yeah, I echo the same sentiment and stick with the agenda.
You're up.
I need to add an item to the agenda, please. It'll be a motion to forgive a portion of the water or sewer bill for the residents at 44 Carousel Lane due to a failure of their sump pump.
So that's item C.
Yep.
Anything else?
No, I'll just stick to the agenda after that.
Agenda for me. I'll stick to the agenda as well.
Okay, I wanted to echo the New Year wishes for everyone. Wishing members of our community health and prosperity, but also knowing that all New Years bring with them challenges of different sorts. Wishing everybody the strength to deal with those challenges, however they may unfold. And I want to once again mention to the public that our village justice retired effective December 31st, so the position's vacant right now. If there's any attorneys out there who would have an interest in filling this position, if they'd please contact the mayor's office, be willing to discuss what's involved. Thank you. Other than that, I'm sticking to the agenda. So we'll move on to our department heads, to our attorney.
I will wish everybody Happy New Year as well. Look forward to working with everybody during the coming calendar year. And other than that, I'll stick with the agenda.
Okay. Our clerk is not with us this evening. She is not feeling well. Our treasurer is not with us this evening. He had a mishap. And so we'll move on to our senior center coordinator.
I want to wish everybody a Happy New Year's as well. Just to let everybody know, January 17th, we do have a musician coming at 11 a.m., John Harrington. And other than that, we'll stick to the agenda.
Okay, over to the superintendent of public works.
Oh, wish everybody a Happy New Year. Just want to let everybody know, starting next week, crews will be going around and start picking up Christmas trees. So bring them out to the curb and we'll come get them.
I'm going to piggyback on that. On my way down to Village Hall, I noticed a couple of Christmas trees out, including one nicely wrapped in a plastic bag. I know that our DPW committee won't be picking that up. Our crew won't pick it up. So if you used the plastic thing to catch all the needles, that's fine, but you need to take it off the tree at this point, or we won't take your tree away. Moving on to our police chief.
Thank you, Mayor. Just echo everyone's comments about a Happy New Year, and unless there's questions, I will stick to the board's agenda.
Very good.
He's got to get home and get the plastic bag off his tree, so.
No, I dragged mine out the other day, my 11-foot tree, and then I ordered an artificial one. That was the last of the real trees. No bag on it.
I was going to make a comment, but we won't. Pending business. Item A, motion approving a proposed local law to amend section 242 specifying regulations of food trucks.
I will make a motion to not approve the proposed local law.
Just make that motion and we'll vote.
Just make the motion to approve and then we'll vote.
Fine, motion.
So we know how Nate's going to vote.
Could I have a
I will
second?
second it.
All in favor, please? Wait, all in favor of approving the proposed local law, say aye. Those opposed, please say nay.
Nay.
All in favor?
Nay.
Opposed?
Not that easy, is it? Yeah, see?
Okay, so that motion is
Is made by Nate.
Second by me.
Megan.
and turned and voted
Turned
down.
Yeah.
Whatever the term for no is.
Yes, no, yeah. Yes, I voted off. I voted off. I voted.
Shucks
You
unsure.
voted 3 times.
Shucks unsure.
Item B, motion approving a proposed local law to change the zoning district of property on 48 Salina Street from R1 to B1.
I'll make a motion.
Second?
All in favor?
Oh, this is the one, can we have
All
a
opposed?
discussion?
Oh, yes, go ahead, discuss.
Okay.
This is bocce ball.
Yeah,
We still
Did we just-
don't know what's going on.
yeah, I thought,
No, we don't know what's going on, but we know we are not going to approve a B1 zoning.
Correct.
okay.
They're working on a PDD with,
Right, I've already drafted a
Okay.
recreational plan development district and a temporary, or not a temporary, but an override of our size limitation for PDDs with respect to this property only, since it's our rule. But
B1 would not be restrictive enough in a residential
Right.
area.
I guess I missed the discussion that we were doing the same thing on
So we're
this.
just gonna vote once this time, so.
Okay. All in favor? All opposed?
Nay.
Nay.
All right. The motion is voted down. Item C, motion approving a proposed local law to override the property tax for the coming fiscal year.
Motion.
Second?
Discussion?
No.
No. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Carried. Item D, motion to approve an amendment to section 345.115 of the Village Code relating to the Phobes Island Development District, provide that the code incorporate the newly approved site plan and provide future amendments. Get a motion?
Motion.
Second?
I'll second.
Discussion? If there are any questions by board members, Ben is here, engineer for the project.
Right.
You want me to quickly run through what?
That would be great.
Yeah, if you want
Yeah,
to.
thanks.
In case they've all forgotten.
So when you look at the plan, you'll probably think it's the exact same plan that we showed you last time, and it's relatively the same. So it's still the 24-unit building, 6-unit building, trash at the end. So when we went to the planning board for their recommendations, we also went to the architectural review committee. So really the only changes happened to the building facade, not really to the site layout. They wanted, I don't know if you saw elevations of the 6-unit building the first time around or not, but there were single garage doors. So each of these was a double garage door. And then there was no stone on the facade, so they wanted the doors split into 2 single doors. They're stepped slightly, and then we added windows to the doors and wall sconces just to give it more of a village feel. So,
Okay, if you flip back to the site plan, James had mentioned the trail
yes.
had to move, and that was going to create more green space behind
Yes.
someone?
So the trail had previously run here. As you remember, when we modified this section, there is the floodway, and that floodway line runs right about here. So while this is all green grass 99.9% of the time and high and dry, because it is in the floodway, it would take a lot of permitting through FEMA. So we're just relocating the trail up a little bit just out of that floodway. It'll protect the trail long-term from flooding. And it'll also create this lawn, kind of like a park area with trees that
Do you have
everyone can
plans on how that'll be maintained? I mean, the trail originally, we had an easement that was the village. We were going to maintain the trail from henceforth.
Yeah.
Moving the trail that much farther away from the river, what happens to that parcel between the trail and the river in terms of maintenance?
That would be maintained by Joe Alberici or the Phobes Island LLC, because obviously if you're renting the apartments here, you don't want this to look overgrown and wild, so they would maintain it the same as they'll maintain all the yard space around.
Okay.
What's your timeline for build?
So with the wet weather and getting building permits, it's probably a couple months to start, I'm gonna guess, just because we are in the winter season now. So I
But this
believe
year.
they plan to break ground in the spring.
Nice.
We have to relocate some water and sewer that previously ran where this building is. So you'll see that before you start seeing buildings going up or foundations being poured.
And then beyond that is all the single,
Yes, and
Family
I believe
lots,
those are
right?
all on the market, so as soon as someone is interested, they'll build each houses, they're sold.
right?
Okay. Any questions? Thanks for coming out tonight. Oh,
I know it's not customary to ask a question after the public hearing, so if I can't speak, I certainly understand the rules of
Try asking
engagement.
your question, we'll tell you if you can or not.
Okay. One of the things I'm curious about is, looks like a nice development, trail system. There's property that's contiguous with that has the potential for a trail system. You just talked about a zoning change for the old VFW. there's possibility for that to link to the contiguous property. That's where the old spoils area is. Do we have a design for what we're looking for in trail systems? I know when I was mayor, we had talked about it. We never really completed it. I'd like to have a conversation someday about trying to get a standard of what we're looking for, like the double shepherd crook lights were always a standard to say if you got on the moving escalator, because if you saw a shepherd crook light, it was going to lead you somewhere. Do we have any thought of what this trail is going to look like, or is it just going to be the blacktop that currently exists there?
I couldn't, I don't.
No, and I don't expect.
I would expect it would be it's the Sergeyevich Trail
Yeah.
continuation.
Yeah, I don't expect the board to answer it. What I'm trying to articulate is if there's an opportunity as we go forward to try to figure out what might begin to blend. You know, that's one thing that I think we need to really develop as we go forward. What do you want it to look like? Because it's such a walkable community, you know, what's that design look like? And it can be any guess.
And we have a new gentleman on board who is in favor of all that. He likes that concept. So I've already seen sketches he's put together. But I would agree, standardizing as opposed to having 12 different lights or 6 different benches.
You remember the battle we had with the Shepherd Crook lights, with the Historic Parks and Rec, Richard Lord, and you know, we kind of use that as a standard, but I think that anything I can do to help, I want to offer my services.
And we are working on terminating the existence of the spoils area and extending, working up, we'll develop a trail system down in that area. What happens on the parcel, the Davis property over to town, hopefully that'll come out of the waterfront.
Yes.
Plans, they'll look at some of that. It's keep it on the front of our mind. I'll bank on you to.
Thank you for the courtesy, appreciate it.
And the one thing I didn't mention while Ben's standing here, that part of when the floodway came through and it changed where the trail originally was supposed to be, the Alberici group gave us a connecting easement. Before we didn't. Lock Street isn't where it's supposed to be. So now we do have, eventually this trail will have a linkage that would hook into any future trail that we would put in. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. New business, modification, a motion to approve budget modifications as proposed in the document 2025-01-02, budget modifications for 2024-2025 budget.
Motion.
Second.
Is there any discussion, any questions about anything that was on there?
No, please,
No.
Did you see it, Chief?
No.
Okay. I'm just saying, I saw Mark moved some money from one police account to another account. I hope he discusses that with you at times.
Well, I know that we've,
To take care of overtime stuff.
well, that, and yeah, yes,
Okay,
yeah.
very good.
I didn't see this, but we have regular conversations about it, so.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Motion to accept the resignation of Griffin Rendazzo as senior recreation leader effective December 31st, 2024.
Make a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Your motion.
Sure, I'd like to make a motion to forgive $147.01 of the water sewer bill for the residents at 44 Carousel Lane due to a failure of their sump pump at the residence. This amount represents the sewer portion of the excess bill.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Carried. Public comments not relating to the agenda.
my opportunity to say the Christmas lights look great again. There you go. Thank you.
It's
really
official
did.
now.
Village look great.
Jim, you haven't been here in months. The mic?
Got nothing to say this time around.
Golly. Okay.
Doesn't mean I won't.
Very, very good.
Yeah.
So can I have a motion to pay bills as audited?
Motion.
Second.
Did you get those, Renee? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It's carried. And a motion to adjourn tonight's meeting at 7:50 PM.
Motion.
Second. In honor of Bruce, second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Good job, guys.
Can I make a?